Hey guys, Sableye here, and welcome back to another episode of Crazy Climber. Today we're going to keep things going with the Sableye Zacian team we featured in the last episode. Not sitting at a terrible rating right now, of course we haven't played too much, but with that, Sableye, I don't know, I'm going to say it right now guys, I love Sableye in case you didn't know. Sableye's kind of my guy. But anyways, actually Lapdog versus Lapdog here, so for the same ones, should be an interesting mirror. I haven't really drawn out this mirror. I'm assuming that Landers is going to be Lumberry, and I can't just click Will-O-Wisp into it, so that's a little concerning. However, something like Regieleki, Sableye, Zacian, some sort of order there is definitely a really solid option for me. And I think I want Charizard. Like, if I go something like Sableye, Aleki, and then I can pivot into either a Zard or a Zacian. See, now this is tough for me, right? Because they're really tempted to bring Lapras, because I'm tempted to bring Lapras for the Landorus. So I know on their end, they're thinking the same thing. You know, if there's a Landorus, there's a Charizard. Lapras looks pretty decent for them. So I think that's alright. The biggest concern I have is not really having a switch in. Like going Sableye, Aleki, I don't have a switch in. What am I switching into here? That's the biggest concern I have. But I still think it's better than bringing Sableye Zard, because Sableye Zard is going to get blown up by a Landorus if they decide to lead that. The problem is, if I lead Sableye Aleki, and they lead Landorus, I'm still in trouble. So the question is, do I want Landorus somewhere? And I almost think that's a yes, and I think because of that I'm going to drop Charizard. And I don't know if this is the right play, but having Intimidate is never a bad idea versus opposing Landorus, and opposing Zacian, of course. I guess it helps a little bit versus the Urshifu if they try to go close combat or something. But for the most part, it's here for the Landorus, and because I wanted something to switch into. Like, I wanted to be able to take a hit on switching. Like, if I switch out Aleki into Charizard, it's not gonna take a Rock Slide very well, let's just say. But if I switch Aleki into Landorus, I can take it a little better. But they're gonna go P2 Lando, so happy I went with my decision here. My main concern right now is, are they gonna click Trick Room? Are they Ice Beam P2, which I would assume is a yes. So let's see, are they also going to be Trace P2? And if they're Trace P2, are they going to have Prankster? Did I miss something here? Or are they not Trace or Download? So you're Analytic? Yeah, that's weird. Okay, I'm going to attempt to Will-O-Wisp here. I don't see a reason not to. I can at least try it. And I think I'm just going to protect this turn. Just because it gives them... Actually, you know what? Getting right into Landers is not a terrible option. Like, I feel like they're going to get... I guess I could just Volt Switch. Would have made a little more sense. Get some chip damage on P2. That's a mistake on my end. But maybe they're going to be Scarf Lando or something. You don't know. I doubt it, though. There's no way they're going to be Scarf Lando. They should be Lumberry here. I'm expecting this burn to be null and void. But... So we're gonna go for the Will-O-Wisp, him and his tiny little hands. Okay, anyways, we're gonna get the burn onto this Lando. Hopefully it sticks. Hopefully there's no berry. There's the Lumberry as I was expecting. I'm expecting maybe just an Earthquake Trick Room. There's the Earthquake. Doesn't affect my Landers, of course. They're -1, so Sableye is not gonna take too much from this. Still takes more than I would have liked, but an Icy Wind. Okay, Analytic Icy Wind P2. I think Lando might die. Does so much damage. Okay. This isn't terrible, but I almost need to let Landers die. I'm gonna Will-O-Wisp this Lando, because I don't want it to be burned. I'm assuming they don't want me to burn it, but maybe I'm wrong. And I think I just go for a Rock Slide. I should still be faster than their P2. I guess they could be off at, like, speedy. But, let's see. I don't really want to switch anything else in to risk either breaking my Sash or slowing down my Zacian. Just an ally switch, so I'm not even going to get the burn up, which is a little unfortunate, because I kind of needed it to allow Sableye and Landorus to live here. So very, very timely ally switch for my opponent. However, getting chip on Porygon is not terrible. There's a Rock Slide. Sableye is going to survive. So, and Lando's going to survive. We didn't even need the burn. Who needs the burn? We're going to get our Rock Slide back out here for a little bit more chip damage. Not going to do a lot, not expecting a lot, and there's some more burn damage on that P2. So, the problem I have now is I haven't set myself up at all for anything. Obviously, they still want to avoid Wisps, right? That's a given. They don't want to take a Wisp here. So I wonder if they Ally Switch again. And if they're going to Ally Switch again, do I call that? That's a pretty greedy call. It's just I don't know what I'm bringing in the back. I know like Aleki Zacian can go completely crazy and win this endgame. It's just that I don't know if a Lucky Zacian can go completely crazy and win this endgame if this Landers is still full health. Because the Porygon 2 can always set Trick Room. So, let's go Foul Play. See if I... Actually, that's terrible. Let's go Will-O-Wisp into the Lando and just click Rock Slide. Come on, get it off. Okay, I think I got that off. I hope I got that off. They're actually going to protect the Landorus, which... Very, very good play on their end there. Obviously, like I said, they didn't want me to just get Will-O-Wisp onto them. That makes perfect sense. I'm going to probably need a flinch, maybe. Landorus is going to go for the Rock Slide. I did get it off in time, which is nice. It is going to connect onto the P2 for a little bit of chip. Obviously, not a lot. A flinch will be massive. No, okay. That's huge. That is a massive dodge. That is a very, very, very important dodge, right? Because they know Lando does not want to take the... They know Landorus doesn't want to take a Will-O-Wisp here, so I'm going to force myself in here with Zacian, and I think because P2 has been chipped enough, I can actually just take that thing out with a Sacred Sword, and I think I just burned a Lando anyways. A -1 burned Lando isn't going to be able to hurt Zacian too much, and as long as I kill P2 here, that's alright. The question is, do they go back for the ally switch now, yes or no? And I'm going to bank on Behemoth Blade killing P2 here, I think. And I'm actually going to double the P2. No, is that dumb? See, because I want to burn the Lando. But I can't burn the Lando if they ally... I think they're going to ally switch. I'm going to call the ally switch. And do this. Because basically, this way, if they don't ally switch, I still kill the P2. Yeah, the Lando's -1. It probably wants to switch out if they're not going to ally switch. Okay, well, they stayed in. So, this is what happens when you overread the scenario. Behemoth Blade is coming out, and we're going to kill the P2 at least, if nothing else. But the problem here is that I could have had such a better turn. Right? Like, P2 could have dropped, Lando could have been burned. And that would have been phenomenal. But I got burned on ally switch earlier, and I didn't want to mess it up this time. Earthquake coming out from the Lando. Still, of course, -1. Sableye is going to die. Zacian does take over half, which is not exactly ideal. Should have been burned. I should have burned the Lando. I definitely overread that scenario for sure. But good news is, Landorus is still in range of dying to Behemoth Blade. I'm assuming their Regieleki's coming in. That's a very good play. And I think this is where things get annoying. Because their Regieleki's just going to click Electro Web. And I'm going to have to go crazy like this with Go Max Lightning. And just to protect right now. Hopefully this Max Lightning can actually take out... Hopefully the Max Lightning can take out this Aleki, which I don't think it can though. I think I lost this on the turn where I didn't burn the Lando. I read into the ally switch and I read it wrong. That's unfortunate, and I don't normally read into ally switches like that, but I did here because I felt like if I ally switch and I can catch that, it's amazing, but I was quite far back, I'm not going to lie. Icy Wind turn 1, did not expect that. But we're going to go big with our Regieleki here, and I should be able to take one Earthquake, so I'm not overly concerned about that. I'm more concerned about Electro Web slowing down my Aleki and then killing my Zacian in the following turn. So they're actually going to... Oh, we both going large Aleki? That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. So, the ideal scenario... Yeah. Okay. This is annoying because I could have E-Web's Thumb and win the game. But the ideal scenario here is that we lose the Speed Tie this turn, get more damage off with our Lightning here, and then the following turn I win the Speed Tie. But either way, Zacian's going to protect. I wonder if the Landorus protects as well. They're not going to protect. We do win this Speed Tie, which is a little unfortunate. But I was kind of hoping to lose this Speed Tie because I think we need both Max Lightnings in the terrain to actually pick up this Aleki. So now I have not only have to get lucky again to win the next Speed Tie, because we're going to see an Earthquake. Actually, did they just Earthquake here? They can't Earthquake here, right? They're not that crazy, are they? They're not that crazy, are they? They're a Life Orb Aleki though, and they're just going to Rock Slide. Okay, miss and preserve the Sash. That would be phenomenal. Okay. I do not preserve the Sash. If I can win a Speed Tie and kill the Aleki, I win the game. But I have to win a Speed Tie. The moment I lose the Speed Tie, the game's over. If I win the Speed Tie, I legitimately think I win. Assuming it kills. Which, with the 1.3 boost from terrain, I think it does. Okay, that's fine. I mean, like I said, the win condition is winning this Speed Tie and killing. And we got it wrong. I win the Speed Ties in the wrong order. I needed to lose the first one and win this one. And win this one, it went reverse and I lost. But I didn't play this one very well. You're gonna see this Alecki drop to this, and it's gonna be a little bit sad, but this game's over now. We should have won that. That's just me over predicting. Had I burned the Landers like I was supposed to, Zacian's probably would have been able to take one, and I would have been alright, and I wouldn't have been forced to max Alecki the turn I maxed Alecki, but I guess it makes sense that they maxed Alecki. Like, I'm not surprised by it. It was just a little annoying. But there's the Zacian coming in. I mean, what I will do is I am going to protect... It does, actually, there's no point. Because Landers... I can't touch the Landers. Yeah, if I could have touched the Landers, I would have probably guarded and see if they would maybe take themselves down with an Earthquake. But given the fact that I cannot target the, touch this Landers at all, this game's over. So let's just get on to another one. That's just me losing my endgame, guys. I got paranoid by the ally switch, and it happens. But I don't know. Like, why would they icy win turn 1? One, I should have volt switched off P2 immediately, rather than switching out. That was not a good play. There was no threat to my Alecki, so I should have just volt switched. Scarf Lando actually wouldn't have even outpaced Red Alecki, so either way, we're gonna keep things going here with another one. But and then I overread the ally switch, so just a very rough lead. They had a way better lead. I did lose with Sableye, so that is unfortunately over, that streak of winning with Sableye. But we're getting Andrea here. Decent rating, not too bad. And we're going to get Raichu Yveltal. So, not a team I want to see, because I'm terrified of that gas ground. Normally I just go Lapras stuff into this, because Sableye Lapras does put in a lot of work here. The biggest concern I have is, like I said, that gas drop, because I need to go Lapras for that, but I don't know if I necessarily want to max the Lapras. And they also have a Raichu, so like I think I'm going to go Sableye, Lapras, and see if I can maybe bait 1 or 2 moves here. Maybe steal a turn, and then go Zacian, or Zacian, I don't care. I'm going to pronounce that wrong every time. And see, Zard is tempting. I don't think I really need Landers that much, so I am actually going to go Charizard, and hope and pray that works out for me. As I knock my entire setup around. Stay. Okay. But the big problem here is Zacian should be able to win this game no problem, as long as I don't let Gastron or Metagross go off. And I should be perfectly content to not let that happen, as long as I'm bringing my Lapras to get my screens up, and Zacian's just not going to die. Zacian can deal with the Yveltal, Zacian can deal with the Raichu. It can eventually deal with Metagross if I start Sacred Sorting outside of Dynamax, of course. Gastron is the biggest threat to Zacian. Never thought I'd say that. Zacian is a beast, and normally Gastron is a garbage Pokemon in my opinion, but that's just how I feel about the Pokemon in general. But like, Gastron's one of those Pokemon to me, guys, kind of like Ferrothorn. It's really, really good at the one thing it does. You know, Gastron is really, really good at just kind of being that Storm Drain user, applying some passive pressure with maybe Yawn, some recovers, you know, E-up damage and stuff like that. That's what Gastron does, and it's good at that. The rest of the time, it's garbage. That's what I find with Ferrothorn now, like the new Ferrothorn, with the body press into Iron Defense. It's really good at that. It's just, if it can't get that set up, it's not a great Pokemon. So it's one of the things on paper, you kind of like it. But when it actually comes out into play, it's not as solid. What I'm going to do here is I'm actually just going to foul play the Raichu and just protect you. I'd expect maybe something like an Eerie Impulse, perhaps. I'm really going all after this Raichu right now. Maybe a Light Screen coming up. They cannot fake out, they cannot taunt or do any prankster moves onto my Dark type. So that's perfectly fine. There's the Grim with the Light Screen. And like I said, I'm expecting an Eerie Impulse or a Nuzzle of some sort. There's the Eerie Impulse. Lapras, perfectly fine. Content taking that. And a foul play is going on to Raichu. I don't expect damage here, guys. I really don't. Yo, Sableye, calm down. Okay, Sableye putting actually in a lot of work. I don't know if that's in range for my Lapras to kill Raichu. And that's the concern I have. I mean, if they're going to Eerie Impulse again, I guess I don't have to max. And I guess I'm going to quash. You know what? They still have I'm not going to max. I'm going to go foul play. No real reason to quash. And I'm just going to freeze dry as well. I'm going to double into this Raichu. We'll deal with Grim eventually. Grim's not a threat to me. Raichu is just going to go Eerie Impulse right here. This is fine. And as I mentioned before, Grim's not a threat. I can walk in with Zacian at any point and pick up that knockout. But Lapras going to go for the freeze dry here. Yeah, okay, maxing would not have killed, but we're going to get the freeze off onto this Raichu. It doesn't matter because there was no reflect up from this Grimmsnarl. They really decided to go after this Lapras though. So, Lapras, perfectly content to sit here and take that. That is why I did not max. And foul play going to be enough to pick up this Travis. So, unfortunately, I had to kill a Raichu. I do not like killing Raichu, guys. Raichu is going to hate. It's gonna leave my desk, okay? He's going to leave my desk. He's going to hate me forever now. But, anyways. Yveltal coming in for my point. So, I don't hate this. What I want to do is I'm going to Will-O-Wisp. I can't actually Will-O-Wisp it. So, do I want a Sunny Day becomes the question. I almost do. It's just, okay, hold on. My phone, I gotta throw it over there. It's in the way. I almost want to Sunny Day. Because, like, realistically, what else am I doing? I can't quash either of these two. Actually, you know what? I'm going to foul play to chip the Yveltal. I think that's fair. And I'm honestly going to perish. It'll force their hand to switch if they don't kill Lapras. Yveltal's actually going to protect. Perfect. So I know it's a bit of an early perish, and I know it's kind of odd. Perish Song coming out. Grimmsnarl, I'm assuming, just going to Spirit Break my Sableye now, which is perfectly fine. And I mean, Sableye should take it, but that's not for me to decide. And Sableye does indeed take it. So what I'm going to do now is I'll Sunny Day, because I do want to Sun Up for my Charizard eventually when I have to bring it on the field. And foul play going into Protect. So that is what it is. And Perish is going to start falling. So Sableye is going to die. I'm perfectly fine with that. The question is, do I let Lapras go down? And what's in the back? You've got to assume maybe Metagross or Incin. I'm going to Sunny Day because, obviously, Sunny Day. And I think I'm just going to go for a Hydro Pump into this Grim. Maybe get some chip damage off into it. Not going to be a lot of damage, but damage is damage nonetheless. They're actually going to switch Yveltal, so I could have Will-O-Wisp that slot. And I thought about it, but like I said, it's most likely going to be Incin or Metagross. And because Incin was an option, I wouldn't have gotten anything out of it. So, could have Hydro Pump that slot. Now, that would have been the play. But unfortunately, I still think I made a pretty safe play here. Sunny Day, of course. I don't expect big damage with Lapras right now. This is not what I'm expecting to do. I'm expecting to maybe chip this Grimmsnarl a little tiny bit. Like I said, I know it's kind of counterintuitive to pump and set the sun up, but like I said, just setting up for the long game here. Getting my... Actually, they targeted Zacian, so... The Lapras, sorry. So they're smartly enough not going to kill my pieces here, which I'm not a fan of. So I do want Lapras late game. So what I'm going to do here is I think I'm going to go foul play into Incineroar. And the question is, do I risk this? I don't think it's too big of a risk. I don't think... Do they ever Flare Blitz Lapras here? It's just super... No way, right? The two I have in the back are way more important, so I will just Hydro Pump to get some chip damage. It's more important to preserve my last two. I can't risk it. Grim's going to correctly reflect here, so they might very well Flare Blitz this Lapras slot. So, if they Flare Blitz Lapras, this is the correct play. Hydro Pump coming out, actually a little bit of chip damage. I'm not expecting a lot of damage though, guys. Like I said, a little bit of chip damage. I set the sun, I did this to myself. But Incin's actually going to Parting Shot, so... this is a free foul play into this Yveltal, which I can definitely support. So they know I have Perish Song, right? They don't want to risk losing Pokemon. So what they're going to do here is they're going to get Grimmsnarl out, which would make the most sense. And Grimmsnarl would switch into Incineroar at that point. And foul play, just going to get a little bit of chip damage up. Nothing too crazy, but that's actually respectable. So Lapras' Perish is down, Grimm's Perish is down, Sableye's Perish is down. I'm going to let Sableye go. The bigger concern is, do I want to bring in... Actually, do I let Lapras go down, maybe? Because I don't want to double switch here. I definitely... Do I need Sableye, though? Sableye is completely useless. There's 3 dark types. So Sableye is the one that I like to go down. I'll foul play into Yveltal if I can. Lapras is going to pivot out. It's just I don't know if I want Zacian to take this or not. Because Zacian's going to get intimidated on the switch in. But the thing is, Charizard can't take a hit. So I have to go Zacian. I know I'm going to get intimidated, but I'll still have 3 pieces. So maybe there's some sort of way we can take advantage of this. Maybe they don't max. Maybe they're just AV Yveltal. But they have to max the Yveltal. It's like their only thing left that they really want to max. They're actually going to stay in. This I don't know if I agree with. I mean, it's a very smart play, I guess. But, like, I don't know why they just sacrificed their Grimmsnarl like this. Hopefully this is an Airstream. Or even if it's in Darkness, I mean, Zacian will take it just fine. My biggest concern is maybe something like a Fake Tears. Okay, Airstream coming out, this is alright. Zacian's gonna take, doesn't appreciate it. But I do take it. I'm assuming a Spirit Break goes into Sableye and just drops that. That would be what I would assume. And then I have to go Charizard and hope for the best. But there's the Spirit Break, yep. And that is going to actually go into Zacian, so they're just ignoring Sableye. I mean, it was going to die at the end of the turn anyways. Zacian taking almost 50% on that switch-in, which is not what I like to see, but at least it's something. So, here's the thing. They're going to lose Grim. I'm going to lose Sableye. They have Instant left on the field. And I think I need to preserve Zacian because I don't know if this Yveltal may have Heat Wave. I know at the beginning of the format they carried it. I don't know if they still carry it. I'm going to go Charizard and just try to put up big damage now. Get some Airstreams up. Maybe I can protect Airstream. That actually might be a decent option. And I actually kind of like that here. Airstream the Incineroar and just protect my Zacian. I don't really need to sacrifice anything yet. This covers for the option if they do have a flare of some sort like that. I'm assuming it's weakness policy of Yveltal, so I'm just going to Airstream into this Incineroar. And I am going to protect. I should be able to take anything they go for. The big concern is, can Charizard survive the turn to get this Airstream up? And is Yveltal going to counter that Airstream with its own Airstream into my Charizard? Because then at that point, there was really no reason to protect Zacian. Because Zacian's going to get faked out here. That's very obvious to me. Like, I don't see a reason why they wouldn't. My big thing, though, is maybe I can get Zacian to outpace Landorus. Not Landorus, I'm tired. Maybe I can get it to outpace Yveltal. So maybe the +2 Yveltal won't outpace my +1 Zacian. And that just comes down to how fast their Yveltal is. I would assume it's pretty speedy. So I'm going to go ahead and assume I'm not going to outpace it. But this is, I think, the best play I could go for. Let's see. Fake out. Yep, go straight into Zacian. That's fine. I'm assuming we're going to see an Airstream or a Darkness. Hopefully a Darkness. No, but it's going to be an Airstream. So they correctly Airstream. Airstream does go into Charizard here. Charizard actually takes that a little bit better than I expected there. So we're going to get an Airstream of our own back up here into this Incin. And this is at least something. The question is, do I want a Wildfire next turn? Or do I want to Airstream again? I think I want to Airstream just to kill this Incin. I might as well kill the Incin and then switch out Zacian and have late game Zacian. I think that's the best option. Do I want a Rockfall? Because Rockfall will do a whole lot more to Incineroar than that Airstream just did. So I think it's just a question of... This is tough because Dark Aura Boost might actually be enough for a Max Darkness to take out my Charizard here. And if they're gonna go for that option, what I could do is double the Incin, and I think that actually makes the most sense. I think that makes a little more sense. One, there's a chance that I'm faster with Zacian. I am not. There's the flare, so I got that play wrong, and now I'm at a threat of losing because I got greedy. Like I said, the correct play was switch out there, and I don't know why I didn't do it. I was just worried that I would die. We're going to get the Max Rockfall up, so Sun is going to go away. Incineroar is going to go away. And I have one more turn to try and get a Max Flare off, Max Wildfire off into this Yveltal, and then hope and pray from there. I could try and Airstream, allow myself to become faster than this Yveltal. It might not have Sucker Punch. If they have Heat Wave, you've got to assume it's Dark Pulse, Heat Wave, Dark Pulse, Heat Wave, Protect, and what was the other one? Airstream. We already saw Airstream, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to protect Lapras. A neutral Yveltal, like a small normal-sized Yveltal, shouldn't be able to take out Charizard based on the Airstream damage from earlier, and the Wildfire should go up. And whether or not this is enough to win this game, we're going to find out. I think it should be. As long as Charizard survives the turn, I'm really not seeing how we lose this game. The Protect comes out from Yveltal, so I wish I could have perished there. It would have been a very optimal play. Maybe not optimal, but it probably would have been the better play. But I didn't want to lose Lapras there. There was a chance of losing Lapras. Didn't think it was suitable for me to lose Lapras there. So, going to get a little bit of chip damage here, and Yveltal is going to get hindered quite a bit from that. So, once again, we're back to the questions now. Can Yveltal kill Charizard? I want to say yes. Can Yveltal kill Lapras? I also want to say yes. So, gonna get a little bit of Wildfire chip into that Yveltal, but the question is, whichever one they kill, I don't think Oblivion Wing does enough. So, I think Heat Wave is the better move. Actually, is Ancient Power 100%? I'm gonna Ancient Power. And I'm gonna freeze dry. I don't have enough turns left on my Pokemon to perish. If I would have perished last turn, I would have had something. But I didn't think they'd protect. I thought they'd just go for the attack, they were faster, and figured they'd live, but maybe they wouldn't have lived, so... Yveltal is going to correctly Oblivion Wing here, going into who? Oblivion Wing does correctly go into Charizard, and this is why I Freeze Dry. So basically, I now Freeze Dry and get Wildfire Chip and Sand Chip into a Protect, into Wildfire Chip and Sand Chip, and hope that's enough. I think it should be. Freeze Dry goes out, into Yveltal, yeah, and that's going to be enough this turn. So they are indeed that weakness policy variant that I mentioned earlier, so we got this game, guys. And, yeah, that was scary. I'm going to be honest, that was very, very scary. So with Yveltal going down, we do get the win, but, like, okay, where was the deciding turn there? Like, I always like to go back and try to figure stuff like that out. Like, what could they have done differently? And I think I just played that to a point where my endgame was just the better endgame. Like, I feel like they should have taken Sableye off the field sooner, maybe. Forced, right? Because they just left me on the field to do whatever I wanted to do. And then my back too sweet, like I swept with Charizard in the late game. Right? If they would have killed Sableye, I know it didn't seem like it was doing much, because it was doing nothing. But what it was allowing me to do was just position to my endgame that I wanted. Had they maybe killed Sableye, they might have forced my Charizard in earlier, been able to fully max with that. You know, I think that might have been their better play. But I don't know, Yveltal in this series has always had trouble beating Zacian teams, so I'll knock it off to a type of matchup advantage. But with that, guys, that's going to wrap up this episode here. If you guys do enjoy the content, feel free to subscribe so you don't miss out on more content. Also, leave a like on the video. It does help me out, so I would appreciate that. But still doesn't feel right to say, guys. Still doesn't feel right. But with that, guys, I'm going to get out of here, and I will catch you guys in the next video.